Wow, wow, wow. What amazing music coming from that family, huh? You and your sister. So blessed. So blessed. So how many of you celebrated Halloween? Yeah? All Souls? All Saints? Yeah? Yes. That's my favorite time of year, actually. It really is. My favorite time of year. Dressing up, we had a wonderful, Darshan Center had a beautiful event where we dressed up as ancestors and saints and sages and ascended masters. So Osiris was in the house, and Jesus, there were two Jesuses actually. There was a Peter, there was a Paul, there was a Mary Magdalene, so there was Christian, and there was Egyptian, and there was just everybody that you can imagine, a very interfaith kind of celebration. It was really, really cool and really beautiful. And it is one of my favorite holidays of all time, is really getting dressed up and kind of remembering or stepping into that all saints, all souls kind of headset and mindset. I was listening to, and I've been listening more and more to Joel Osteen. So I don't know if anybody can identify or relate. He's such a great, inspiring, I feel like a prophet in a way. You know, and it's like, he never disappoints me. Now, I may not be a practicing, quote-unquote, Christian, but as an interfaith minister, I adhere to all the faiths, and that's your declaration today, which is, what is the religion that I practice? It is love, it is higher consciousness. That's the religion, and I appreciate, as an interfaith minister, all the beautiful gifts on this smorgasbord, if you will, of spiritual practices. Whether it's indigenous practice, whether it's Christian practice, Islamic practice, the mystics, all of the saints and sages have something to offer us, to give to us. In fact, I believe it was Satchitananda that said, it's a lot of different colored cows out there, but it's the same nourishing milk that we receive from the cows. Doesn't matter the size of the cow, the shape of the cow, the geographic origin of the cow, the color of the cow. It's the nurturing, nourishing milk. And that's what we're seeking when we come every week. We're seeking for that nourishing milk, that medicine, that sacred medicine. So I have a tendency, when I've had enough of the music that I'm listening to, and I want a little change of pace, I'll put on Joel Osteen. And so this particular message is really inspired by his beautiful, inspiring sermon on the ancestors. And all heaven is cheering for you. Now, I think that I would be preaching to the converted here, especially at Metaphysical Chapel, when I say that the ancestors are cheering us on. Do you believe it?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you believe that even though the ancestors have passed into another dimension, do you believe that they're still here with us?
Yes.
Do you believe also that not only are they watching over us, healing us, guiding us, giving us inspiring messages, but that also we are healing them?
Yes.
Do you believe also that not only are we healing those generations that have gone before us, but that we're healing the generations to come? You believe that too? So it's an ancestor thing, and it's a descendant thing. It's an ancestor thing, and it's a legacy thing. So the question that we're really asking ourselves is, what am I doing in my spiritual practice that honors the ancestors, helps to heal them, and heal the generations to come? What am I doing? And there's a beautiful, in Hebrews, and I just actually discovered this, that in the New Testament, in the Christian scripture, the Hebrew epistle, that was not written by Paul. There's a lot of different ideas and theories out there, hypothesis. Who wrote Hebrews? And one theory is a woman named Priscilla. Have you heard about this already?
No.
Yeah, so some have in the room. Priscilla was the wife of a worker who worked with Paul. And she was a great teacher. and she was a great writer. So Hebrews 11, I just want to read it. I'm going to only read the first sentence of it, and then I'm going to read the sentence in Hebrews 12. Faith is the reality of all that is hoped for. Faith is the proof of all that is unseen. Because of faith, our ancestors were approved by God. So in this time, right now, where we're at, wildfires, wild elections, wild counting, wild recounting, wild shooting. It's like the wild, wild west, it feels like. Yep. It feels like every single day when we turn on the television or open up our phone and look at our apps, if we have news apps, that it's things that are shaking our faith, maybe. Shaking our faith. And maybe what we need is to tap into a stadium filled with the ancestors who are cheering us on and saying that this is not the first time in history where we will be challenged. Because when I look up in that stadium, and I'm a big baseball fan. Anybody in the room a baseball fan, like baseball? October is so exciting, right? October just passed, and we got the World Series, get the championship. And you know what I love is, I'm a baseball fan. I have some teams that I like that are special to me, but I just really love the game of baseball. So I loved watching how when the Astros were playing, everybody with orange, and I'm a big orange fan as a sannyasi, I love the orange. So anyway, they're waving their orange, people are wearing orange hats, they're in the home field at stadium in Houston, and they're cheering their team on. And then the Dodgers in Los Angeles, you look and you see all these blue towels going, and they're cheering on their team, the Dodgers. Well, both teams lost, unfortunately. But you know what? It's so amazing, the energy, when we're in the stadium and we have home field advantage, and all of the fans are cheering for us. Well, what it would like us to think about is all of the ancestors in the stands and in the stadium, all of our ancestors that are cheering us on, that are giving us a standing ovation, that are waving our favorite color, whatever that is, saying, don't give up, keep going. When your faith is shaken by the things that are seen, remember that there are things that are unseen. Right?
Yes.
And so with that knowing, we could look in the stands and say, and I'm going to do an interfaith example, we could look in the stands and we could say, wow, Jesus is standing in the stadium. He's standing in the stadium cheering us on, saying, I was betrayed. I was arrested unjustly. I was crucified unjustly, unfairly. In the things that were unseen, I had faith. I am standing up, cheering for you, right? Ram, in the Hindu tradition, the god Ram, Lord Ram, he was betrayed. He was sent out into the forest for 14 years. He was supposed to get coronated as king, and then what wound up happening because of fake news and lies and betrayal, right? He was then banished, and he didn't get the kingdom, he was banished instead. He's standing in the stands. He's saying, even though you feel disappointment, even though you feel something is unjust, something is unfair, even though you feel frustrated with whatever the outcomes are, keep going.
Yes.
I have faith. I did it. You can do it. Then we look and we see Buddha is standing in the stands. And the Buddha is saying, hey, listen, I told you life is suffering. Right? But the only reason you're suffering is because you're attached to something that is always changing.
Yeah.
Have faith in the unseen. Have faith in the unseen. Then we look and we see Job stands up. Has anybody ever had the chance to read Job? Talk about things really bad happening to this guy. I mean, it's not even funny. All of the one despair and one adversity after the next. And Job is standing in the stadium. Because, guess what? We have home field advantage. We have the fans. Those are the ancestors. Those are the ascended masters. Those are the sages. Those are the saints. Those are the forces of light. Our Reiki guides, our healing guides, our spirit guides, our animal allies. Why, they're all standing in the stands. And I don't know about you, but this is probably a good audience to say this. How many of you believe that this is not our first embodiment? You know, it's not our first rodeo kind of thing, right? So in all of our soul's journey, all of the spirit guides, all of the allies, all of the forces of light, all of those ancestors, why, they take up a whole stadium. And they're standing and they're saying, if I could do it, you can do it. And Hebrews 12, just going to read this one line. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside everything that impedes us and entangles us. You know, for me, I could get easily caught up in the entanglement of what's going on around me and what is seen. But what helps me is remembering that God is calling me. God is whispering to me. When I get still, I can hear home field advantage. When I get still, I can hear the ancestors yelling, screaming, singing, dancing, telling me I can do it. All of heaven, I feel, is cheering me on. You know, my grandmother was an amazing theologian who was also suffering from mental illness and addiction. And she died when I was 27. I owe her such an amazing debt because I sat at her feet during her Bible studies when I was 4 years old. My recovery today, my work today on my mind, body, and spirit helps to heal her addiction, helps to heal her mental health. Do you believe that? Yes. And then I believe that the descendants, even if I may not be a biological mother or father, biologically, I have a lot of descendants. I have a lot of descendants, the people that listen to me, the people that I'm teaching, my students, etc. All of these people are my legacy, my descendants. Anyone who hears anything that I'm saying or is witnessing to my recovery or my healing or my spiritual practice is healed as a result. I know that when I get caught up in what is seen, I might get tangled up. But what I would ask of us is to remember that in the stands, there are the ancestors. In the stands, there are the ascended masters, the teachers, the sages, the saints, all the souls. And they are cheering us on. And they're telling us, I could do it. You could do it. And if you do it, you heal us. And you heal them. Namaste.